30 small events that changed lives, according to Reddit. Number 30. A girl that was friends with my oldest two brothers locked her keys in her car and needed my brother's help getting them out. I drove him since he didn't know how to get her job. We've been together for a year now and she's moved in with me recently. Interesting. Didn't know how to get to her job. Yeah. One car ride? Damn, baby. Well, number 29. When I was 12 or 13, I saw School of Rock, which made me want to play bass guitar. I then went to a high school specifically for music, where I met 90% of my current friends, and now I am financing my university playing in a wedding band. If it wasn't for Jack Black, I would be a completely different person today. But that was just a tribute, you know. Number 28. After waking up from another blackout night of drinking, I drove to CVS at the shopping center just down the street to get some Powerade, my hangover cure. There was an army guy on the sidewalk having a smoke, so I joined him for a quick cigarette. 4 years later, I received my honorable discharge from the army, sober. Well, you've become a better man. Bing bong. You survived too, so that's good. Why is this, spaced weird? There's a lot of things going on with this. I'm gonna try to fix them all, if possible. Bruh. This is not right. And it's also not streaming well either. This is so strange. Give me a second. Okay. There's the chat, but it's not popping up for some strange reason. Okay. I feel like everything's gonna need to be resized all of a sudden, which is kind of whack, but I guess it's better than not working. What the hell is going on? Give me a second. I'm so sorry. Everything suddenly just... Forgive me, I think I fixed it. But God forbid shit fucking work, you know, jeez. Tell me if this is like live again. Is everything fine? Sorry. I'm gonna continue because I can see that the readings are fine, so even if it doesn't seem it, it will at least capture that way when I'm done and it uploads the video. So as we continue to number 27, after I made a special lunch for my Valentine's Day for my girlfriend, for Valentine's Day for my girlfriend in middle school, with heart-shaped items and shit. Her friend, one of the cutest girls in the school, came up to me. She said,
"Aw, you're so cute." Not like in a physical way, though.
I'm 32, and although I'm not obsessed all the time, I do hear that voice anytime I feel confident about my looks. "Aw, you poor little scrub. That's so unfortunate." But hey, look, I remember a story about a girl that I know, I won't name any names, about how she went into a bathroom one time, and these mean girls said to her,
"This is the girls' bathroom?"
and like, you can tell it just hurt her in the worst way. And I'm sorry that it happened to her, and I wish that that memory would leave her. But it's a classic story of just how much of a little bitch these little kids can be. Fuck me. Number 26. In kindergarten, I misunderstood a coloring assignment where you had to color the matching butterflies the same color. So, the butterflies with square wings were both blue, circle both red, etc. I just colored the butterflies however I wanted. I showed my finished work to the substitute for the class, who was also the school principal. When she saw how much I screwed up, she ripped it up in front of me and yelled about how I did something wrong. Okay. Since then, I've typically been a to-the-books worker who is afraid of trying a new technique or method, even if it would be better. I've also been a perfectionist, and I was clinically diagnosed with OCD for a while after the event. That kinda sucks. Bro, so YouTube is saying that I have bad video settings when I haven't changed shit and I've been streaming fine for years. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. What do you mean? It's just ridiculous. There's really nothing that I can hotfix right now to try and make YouTube stop sucking dicks. Because the error is not on my end, but I know it's going to destroy people being able to watch. This could be a way that YouTube's trying to kill me. What a shame. Number 25. On March 3rd, 2007, I went to GameStop. I was walking around with $60 to burn, and I saw a seemingly insignificant box in the small PC section. The box was World of Warcraft, and that's how my addiction began. Ooh. Well, that happens. Number 24. I needed a tank for a raid in the Secret World. Never heard of that game. And I asked a friend. He asked a friend, and we brought him in. The dude was cool, and we started hanging out. 2 years later, we're engaged. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. He completely brought all my walls down, made me a better person, and I started living again because he encouraged me to. Even if we were to end it today, I would still be a better person because of it. That's high praise, my nigga. That's the kind of praise I want from anybody that I deal with. It's like, I can't get enough of Kyle. He's amazing. I love him. And even if he stopped talking to me today, I would be happy for the interactions that we have, and I would feel that I've become a better person for interacting with him. And now you guys know what to say to get me in the sack. I'm kidding. Number 23. All right. I accidentally swiped right on Tinder. We've been married 2 years now. Accidentally swiped right, dude. Ugh. Even more crazy, my husband lives 50 miles away, and we both had shorter Tinder radii. We would have never even come across each other on Tinder if he hadn't gotten stuck in traffic near me where I lived and turned his Tinder on. Wow. What's even crazier is we used to actually live in the same neighborhood 6 months before we met. We went to the same park, grocery stores, bars, but never showed up on each other's Tinder. Bruh, enough with the Tinder bells. You fucking people, eh? You know? What a bucket of Jim Joms. What a Kim Jong catastrophe. Yeah, that works. That worked, that thing that you just said. I swear to God, I don't know what to do with YouTube right now. It's it's constantly hitting me with this, oh, you're in the red, the keyframe frequency is, oh my god. What do you want from me, my dude? It says the current keyframe frequency is 7.7 seconds. I can tell you that it most certainly is not. Because my keyframe interval is 2 right now. But, let YouTube lose its damn mind. As long as the few of you can see what I guess is coming out, I can't be fucking bothered. Number 22. One day before homeroom in my junior year of high school, I went to hang out with a friend, Mark, at his locker, like we usually do every morning. I came over and our friend Dave was trying to convince Mark to join a club called Junior Achievement, and their first meeting was later that night. It's a young business leaders sort of extracurricular club. When I asked what they're talking about, Dave suggested that I should give it a try. Later that night, my parents were late getting home from some event, so I figured it was too late for them to give me a ride to the Junior Achievement thing. But when my dad walked in the door, I reminded him, he hurried me out to the car, and I go. When in the club, both junior and senior year of high school, with my friends. Our regional Junior Achievement Club offered an annual full tuition scholarship to a local private university, a top-tier school, but one I was not considering. However, Mark, Dave, and our other senior year friends already had their college careers planned out, so they convinced me to apply for the scholarship so that at least someone from our club applied. In the end, apparently only me and some other kid from the local club in our region applied for the scholarship, and I must have wowed the selection committee because I won the scholarship and I got a nearly free ride into that university, which was good news since I wasn't accepted to any of the other colleges I applied at. So, I owe my entire college career, all the friends I made there, and probably my current job to that random morning before homeroom. Interesting. Number 21. During my junior year of high school, I received a well-crafted mailer advertising an engineering summer camp at a college that I'd never heard of in a different state. My mother really liked the mailer, so my parents sent me to an engineering camp that summer. On the first day of camp, I arrived late to the orientation and sat on the only available seat. The guy I sat next to fell in love with me instantly. We started dating at camp, then the next year we both went to college so we could be together. 4 years after that, we both graduated with engineering degrees and got married. If my mother hadn't liked that mailer, I wouldn't have met my husband. I wouldn't have gone to that school, and I probably wouldn't have the same major either. Also, if I hadn't sat down next to him at orientation, we probably wouldn't have ever started dating. Pretty wild, this motherfucker. Oh, your eyes, darling. Number 20. I was really bored, and I figured I would watch some TV while I did some sketches. Nothing really seemed interesting, but then this weird show called This weird show called Mythbusters came on, and I went from a high school art student to a computer engineer just from the background noise. Hilarious. So hey guys, in the stream chat, hello Jesus, Prelude, Carrie, Michael, Matt, Hazelnut. I want to know if the stream is at least functioning for you guys, because it is pointlessly in the red for me. It's telling me all this shit about keyframe frequencies, and it's like, dude, there ain't a damn thing that I can do right now. Ain't a damn thing that I can do. YouTube really needs to calm the fuck down, as usual. But it never does. It never does. Ooh, I want YouTube suck my balls. Ooh, sucking my balls. YouTube, just chill, man, for once. God damn. If you say it's good, I go with your word, and I hope that it's a steady situation. More so, I hope it fucking uploads properly. Number 19. There was a massive drama in my guild in World of Warcraft. Although it didn't have anything to do with me, it was making the guild atmosphere toxic. One evening I logged in, clicked select server, and randomly chose a new server. On the server I met my partner. Because of her, I moved to a different country, was able to get my master's degree, and the move literally saved my life. For 10 years, I had been going to the doctor in the UK with various ailments. Stress was always the answer. Relaxation was always the solution. Turns out it was actually my thyroid, left untreated for much longer, and the irregularity in my heart rhythm would have killed me. All this because I thought it would be fun to wind up the RPers for the evening. Damn. Everybody seems to be sorting their lives by fucking around with their World of Warcraft. What the hell? Number 18. I was a lonely kid in the first year of university, having just had a falling out with the first group of friends that I made there. It was in the second semester and in my first class that I decided to sit with a few people that I knew from a previous class, and I decided to say hi. What ensued were long-lasting relationships that still persist to this day. I consider them a family that I never had. Number 17. I didn't go to my baby cousin's 4th birthday party. It was just really small with family and ice cream, and I didn't want to drive close to 2 hours. He died a month and a day before he turned 5. I don't miss anything family now. I've actually gotten really close to my extended family because I won't miss anything anymore. Well, sometimes when it comes to little Billy's 4th birthday, you don't want to miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dreams a month and a day away from your birthday. But you're always gonna be 4. I don't wanna miss one candle on a birthday cake. I don't wanna miss one strip. Number 16. What? Number 15. If I decided to tie my shoes when I noticed... Wait, I'm supposed to say it like... Okay, hold on. Number 15. If I had decided to tie my shoes when I noticed my laces were undone... Bro.
Angry fat man is angry.
Damn, fat man. What a motherfucker. We bow to you, fat man. Well done. You have effortlessly, in one fell swoop again, realized the fucking, you realize the stream goal, and it's not like a daily thing. Oh, this guy. I'm sorry you're angry, fat man. Oh my god, that's poorly spaced as well now. I gotta try and figure out how to spit. And he's the stream boss, in case he wasn't before. So bing bong, it's the fat mizzle. Holy hell. Holy hell. What a badass, what a try hard. Thank you, my man. But tell us why you're angry. You know we're dying to know. Okay? 15 continues, if I had decided to tie my shoes when I noticed my laces were undone, I would have been run over accidentally by the woman who raised me when she hit the gas instead of the brake. Instead, I walked to the side of the car before tying my shoes and lived. Oh my god. At first I thought Fat Man responded, I need to finish the laundry. And I thought that's why he was mad as hell. And I was like, damn, man. I would have done your laundry if I were there. You should have hired somebody. Oh, Legendary Fat Man says it's been a shitty week. Let's leave it at that. Check the Discord, Kyle. My man, you and I both are not having so great a week, but that's the end of it. There's a reason I'm doing the stream earlier. I apologize for last night's abrupt end to that stream. I was suddenly not alone in the house, and that's the way that it's going to be for the next couple of days as we approach Mother's Day. The end, Love you guys. We'll get back to it when we can. Those of you who are sweet enough to be back regularly, I appreciate you, and when I can find an open minute, I will endeavor to record an offline list to send to you. But with that being said, my time now is limited, and I want to try to get through this list. So I love you, but forgive me. Number 14. When I was 17, I left school with no degree, no money, no idea what to do with my life. My dad managed to get me a job in retail, and on my way back to work the first day, I got hit by a car. Damn. Lucky to have survived. The manager didn't give a fuck and gave my position to someone else. With literally nothing left to do, I decided to go back to school. That was about 7 years ago. I finished with honors, went to university, got my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, something everyone I knew and talked to told me was impossible for a fuck up like me. Wow. And now I work as an engineer, making more money in my first year of work than I ever did in my entire life. Sometimes I think about tracking down the guy who hit me with his car to thank him. Wow, when getting hit by a car is the best thing that happened to you. Wow. Hazelnut says, Kyle, you want to do my laundry? I'm washing the clothes for the whole house. Girl or guy, I don't know who Hazelnut is. I believe in you though. I do love you with all my heart. The titties would have to be at least triple D's for me to just be washing random people's clothes. You know what I mean? I barely wash my own clothes. And even when I do, they hang out in the dryer for days. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's like, where am I going? You know what I mean? Number 13. A friend from school was having an engagement party. I moved several drives. My God, try that again. I moved several hours. Oh, what is with that word for me? I'd moved several hours drive. Fuck this guy. I moved several hours drive away since high school and was having trouble with my car. So I was not sure that I could make it. I just saw something crazy. Give me a second. I just want to hold you close. Bam! I don't know that I got it. Ugh. Alright, sorry that I made that noise just now. A fly got in here the other day when the door was left open. And I tried to kill it just now, but I'm not sure that I got it. I apologize. Let's go ahead and fresh up the mood with another song and try to keep me focused because I don't have time and I need to get through this. Oh boy. Number 13. A friend from school was having an engagement party. I'd moved several hours drive away since high school and was having car trouble, so I wasn't sure that I could make it. My friend gave me the name of the other person living in my new town who was also invited, a friend of her husband. I got in contact with this guy, introduced myself, and asked if he was planning to go to the party and wanted to split the travel expenses. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it to the party either because of work commitments. Tracking him down still turned out to be worthwhile though. Next year will be our 20th anniversary together. Y'all random people was about to get a ride to somebody's place and neither of you could make it, so you started talking and now you're together. What kind of fuck y'all, gay ass motherfuckers. Ugh. Sucking on them balls, sucking my balls. Number 12. I had just given birth to my firstborn and called my adoptive father to tell him that he was a grandfather for the first time. He had a very poor, almost estranged relationship, and he was a huge alcoholic. He lived hundreds of miles away, so letting him know seemed harmless. he wouldn't actually be a part of my kid's life. It was kinda fuck you to the man who'd been an ass to me my entire life, and I knew he'd like bragging.
Buzz buzz. You missed me, bitch. Buzz buzz.
Who the fuck is that? Pretty white for a fly? When the quote is pretty fly for a white guy, he doesn't even, whoever that is, I guess we don't know that it's a lady. It could have been a lady with how unfunny that was. I went there, yeah. We had a very poor, almost estranged relationship, and he was a huge alcoholic. It's 10 a.m. when I call. He's drunk and says, "You should call Joe," my biological father, who I'd never met. 3 days later, I found Joe on the internet. This was America Online days. I called the number. He answers the phone. That's also super odd. His wife says he never answers the phone, and I probably wouldn't have said anything to a woman. Not knowing how she'd feel about him fathering a kid 30 years earlier. I said, "Joe, were you married to Jane in 1967? And Joe says, "Yes. Well, I wanted to let you know, I'm your daughter 3 years ago. You became a grandfather." Ho. He was quiet, not surprised. I gave him the website, do my eyes, see the pictures of me and the baby. Oh my God, now I'm a lady. Shot the baby out my vagina. Call my biological father and tell him to come over to China. Ooh, we got a great wall. I'm sorry. We got a great wall. Shut up. They didn't even have internet, so I went to a friend's house, called back an hour later and said, "How would you feel if we took a little drive up to see you? You got some bread?" From Florida to Delmarva area. That was 20 years ago. They moved up here shortly after number 2 was born. We see them almost every weekend. His wife and my mom are good friends. My kids and their only grandchildren are pretty much ready to light it up again. My life, that is. And welcome to the hottest narrator in the biz, Kyle. That's right. There go Faith in the stream chat. Out of sight, fat man say, "Fuck you, Kyle, that was funny. You gotta give my humor a chance, Kyle, that was funny. Fat man pays my bills, so who am I to disagree? When he says something is ha, I'll agree, it's funny." In this instance, I'll agree, it's funny. But maybe because he's making that money. Number 10. Back in 2011, it was all the rage at my school to play these text-based browser games featuring mafia and mobsters. In general, that culture was pretty popular back then when it comes to entertainment bars. You know what I'm talking about? So I was playing this game, and at some point, I got a message that someone had tried to break into my fictional apartment. When people failed doing that, it would show part of their name unless they were significantly stronger. I messaged that person with a cheeky joke about how next time they can just ring the doorbell. The end of last year, 6 years after the fact, we got married. And we are now in a painfully slow process of my wife moving 11,000 miles away from home to come live with me. Had she never failed that action in the game, or had she never attempted in the first place, we would have been where we are. Had I never had this shitty sense of humor that urged me to message her, we never would be where we are. Well, I'm glad you assholes are made for each other. Everything seems to be serendipitously happening for everyone but you and me. I guess life is just giving us that rock hard D in the B. No lube. Whoa. Number 8. Wait, I just skipped number 9. Number 9. Fresh out of high school, I went to a military recruitment office. Long story short, it turns out I wasn't suited for military service. I was at a loss because I really wanted to travel and do some good while building new skills. One of the recruiters sarcastically remarked, "Why don't you join the Peace Corps?" So I did. I'm almost finished with my 2 years. What a scumbag. Why would they what do you mean you're not like material? I want fettuccine Alfredo. I wanted to make some tonight, but other food is prepared. And since I'm not alone, it would be rude to prepare food when other food has been prepared. Y'all know how it is. Number 8. My friend was leaving for a trip to visit her friend in Florida, so her and I planned to have a goodbye girls' night out dinner. It just so happened that her friend was where we were, just visiting his parents on leave from military. She spontaneously invited him to crash the girls' night out without asking me, so I was pretty annoyed at both of them the whole night. That irritating girls' night out crasher, I ended up marrying him 6 years later. You never really know who you'll meet and when. You never really know who you want to have inside you, then again, when you're a slut. All the guys got hot PPs. When you're a slut, you want a piece of that D, not just a slippery slobber, but get inside your hobber. That's what I call when a woman spreads it long and makes you slobber. Jesus Christ. A hobber. Number 7. At age 15, I was forced to hang out with a family member on a vacation I didn't want to be on and ended up going to the zoo. But I didn't feel like being there, dude, or walking around with my cousin, so I hung out by the chimps. What's the difference? Just kidding. For a long time, I ended up seeing one of them, and so I rhymed, make a face of what appeared to be laughter, and was surprised at how human-like it was. Wow. I went home, did some research, and stumbled upon the discipline of anthropology, which turned out to be one of my greatest passions. Soon after, I denounced my old religion and became a proponent of evolution, causing an enormous rift in my family life and sending me on a path of heathen adventures. All because I saw that monkey in the zoo. What the fuck? That's the best one here. Number 6. Back in 1988, I went to a grocery store with my mom, local volunteer for the fire department. I was doing a demonstration in the parking lot, so my mom let me stay and watch. Wait, no, the fire department was doing a demonstration in the parking lot, so my mom let me watch, even after she went home. I was given instructions to call home on the payphone, home on the payphone, on the payphone, call home on the payphone in the grocery store when the demonstration was done. 30 years later, I'm a firefighter/paramedic and have been involved in emergency services since I was 12. Some young motherfuckers are so impressionable. Holy shit.
And if it wasn't for Jack Black in that movie, I wouldn't have wanted to play an instrument. Goddamn.
Number 5. Freshman year of college, I decided to hike the John Muir Trail. Girl, I don't know what the hell that is. I hiked the trail with my dad and a buddy of mine. We spent months getting ready, shaking out our gear, getting in shape. So when my dad stepped wrong and messed his knee up and had to bail, I was really disappointed, but was going to finish it without him, until my buddy's shoes began to fall apart. After only like 40 miles, and he decided to bail too. Well, I didn't want to do the next 150 miles alone, so I begrudgingly left the trail with them. When I got home, there was an email from a professor of the drafting class that I'd taken asking for people to work as teacher's assistants and graders for a machining class that he was about to start teaching, and to respond by that Friday. I respond, he's delighted to have me. I worked as a teacher's assistant and his only grader for 2 years until he retired. Retired, Kyle? How do you says I'm having spaghetti for dinner tonight too? Nigga, great. I'm glad you're all having spaghetti for fucking dinner, guys. You know? I don't like spaghetti. I want that Alfredo. I want that like penne pasta Alfredo, or maybe the fettuccine. That's the good stuff. Linda says, hello, Kyle. Hello, everyone. I'm so late. Did everyone remember to like? I'm sorry you guys are late. This stream is not, streaming well, and I don't know what to say because it's not my fault. It's YouTube's. And YouTube is constantly doing this thing where it's telling me that, the fucking, the video settings are bad, dude. And I'm like, that's not my fault. The keyframe frequency in OBS responds to something different than what's going on. I'm reading no dropped frames. It's telling me that it's literally broadcasting really, really well in the green, but YouTube says otherwise, so YouTube can just suck that cock as usual, I guess. Adu says, also, Kyle, check your Discord or Snap later when you get the chance. You're hyping something up for me, so if I go and I'm disappointed, I guess I'll just kill myself, you know what I mean? I have to fucking make some kind of thing happen. Hopefully everybody sends me a Snap message to keep me from going down that dusty trail. Okay, number 4. Wait, did I finish this one? No. But oh my God, come on. I got an interview despite my below target GPA, and the interviewer for one particular oil company explained, you got a oil company job? Damn. I end up getting an internship at that oil company and eventually a full-time job after graduation. Several years later, the company transfers me to Montana, where I bought a house and met a now fiance. So if my buddy had bought a little better shoes, I might be in a totally different place in life. Man, life is crazy. Well, if it ain't D. Ramsey subscribing. Hazelnut says, Kyle, I'm having carne asada. Do you like that? How would you like asada my hand upside your face? Huh? Do you like that? I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Number 4. First week of freshman year, I walked up and down my dorm hall asking people if they want to make tea with me in the kitchen. It was an engineering co-ed dorm, so I wanted to be inclusive. As I was asking people, a guy playing Minecraft randomly says yes. He wasn't even paying attention, but 3 years later, he's my best friend and has given me the greatest love ever. What? The greatest love? What? It all started because I wanted tea and didn't want to drink alone. He is my boyfriend today, which makes him my best friend as well. He is not friend-zoned by any means. He plays Minecraft. What? What, bro? Number 3, okay. When I was a kid, the pastor of my parents' church heard me practicing Bach on the piano. He asked if I'd like to try the pipe organ. Sometimes, I'm about to sneeze, so it's making my life crazy. I suppressed it, sorry. Something that had always fascinated me. I took it to the sneeze is coming back. Okay, it's gone again, sorry. I took to it like a duck to water, even though my feet could barely reach the pedals. So, right then and there, knowing my parents couldn't afford it, he offered to pay for my complete musical education in preparation for college, including organ, piano, music theory, keyboard, harmony, and ear training. His act of generosity and kindness brought about my career, and also all he asked in return was for me to substitute for the church organist when he was on vacation or away, something I was honored to do. Holy bing bong. Somebody says the name checks out, and this guy's name is Back to Bach. Holy bing bong. That's pretty cool, man. What a backstory. That's like a superhero backstory. But then the guy who plays the organ is killed, and that's like your motivation to fight crime, you know? So guys, once again, it's time for an impromptu Infinity War Kyle review. I want to make sure that you guys pay attention to the most important character in all of Infinity War, Doctor Strange, okay? who said that he looked into the future to possible, encounters where this shit went down. 4,605,000. That's what he said. Okay. And he said he only saw one where it worked. And when he's going away at the end, he says out loud, Tony, this was the only way. Okay. This was the only way. And I like the light switch. You know what I'm talking about? I want to see what the hell happened. I want to see what the hell goes down in the next one, baby. This can't all be all about Captain Marvel and Adam Warlock, baby. It's not that simple. Are we going to go into a different reality? Are we going to go into a back in time to when the Avengers were young? Are the Fantastic Four going to be there? Are the X-Men going to be there? You know what I'm talking about? Holy shit. Number 2. I was riding my motorcycle years ago to visit a chick in Tallahassee, Florida. It was 1 a.m. and I was trying to figure out exactly where she lived. I got sand in my eye from the road and stopped at a red light to try and clean them out. The light went green, but I sat there for a few fucking seconds cleaning my eyes. There was nobody around, so I wasn't worried about blocking traffic. Right at that moment, an old piece of shit hoopty blew the red light doing almost 100 miles per hour. I am 100% positive I am still here because I got sand in my eyes. Ah, the old Dale Gribble. The old Dale Gribble. I was driving once. Nice day, windows down, music up. Decided I wanted a cigarette, so I rolled the window so I could light it without wind blowing out my lighter. Seconds later, a large hunk of metal laying on the ground got flipped into the air by another car and hit my window, smashing it pretty bad. But if I hadn't just rolled up my window, it would have smashed my face. Holy bing bong. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for this not so flawless stream. YouTube's losing its mind, and as usually, it can't be fixed, but we do what we can. So as we finish out the list of, come on, nothing sized properly, my dude. So we finish out the list of 30 small events that changed lives. Number 1 reads, I walked into a hot tub on New Year's with my phone in my swimsuit pocket. Doofus move. It resulted in me missing a call from my mother, who was worried about my younger sister and didn't know where she was because she was supposed to be home by 1 a.m. She was nervous, and my father had gone to bed. Instead of waiting, she decided to drive to the house she knew I was at to figure out the address of where my little sister was. On the way to me, she was hit by a drunk driver. I went home the next morning to find a note from my father about how my mother had been in a car accident. I went to the hospital to visit her immediately and found my father and sister there. She needed physical therapy for the next few months, and I drove her there for every appointment because it worked well with my schedule. I then met her physical therapist, who was 2 years older than me. I got engaged to that therapist, and we have been married for 5 years now, all because I destroyed my phone in a hot tub. This story could have gone a lot of different ways, my dude. And in my head, I'm a cynical, mean guy. So I'm thinking to myself, God damn, if this mom would have just kept her stupid shit together and not freaked the fuck out because she can't immediately locate one of her damn kids. You know what I mean? Calm the fuck down. They're not getting murdered. You don't need to jump in your car and be driving anyway. You driving to a damn party. What the hell's wrong with you? Of course, a drunk driver. Bam! You know what I'm talking about? What the fuck? And then the physical therapist who's bringing your mom back, you're all like, girl, that's a fat ass. I like the way you jiggle when you walk and you help my mom tonight. But hold up real quick. Can I talk to you over here? Leave my mom right there. She ain't going nowhere. Yeah, girl. So what's going on? You know what I mean? You know, I'm feeling like getting my phone in that water was worth it, girl. So I can meet you, girl. Girl. All you. Sit right here. Talk about. What the fuck? Okay. Sister fell asleep at a friend's house. Oh my god. Oh my god. So guys, I love ya. Big Titty Alice says, Kyle, the music you use in your streams is the same shit that I used in one of my student films in high school. And every time I tune in, I get Vietnam style flashbacks. My god, how long has Kevin MacLeod's free ass music been skirting around the internet, you know? Oh boy. Well, as I mentioned before, I am not alone at home, which is going to make the streams a little gonna make the stream a little tricky. My dude, Strange was everything in this movie, and I hate to keep going through it, but guys, pay a fucking attention, okay? Because if you're confused, no, Strange didn't save Stark at the end because he had some kind of change of heart and he's like a nice guy now or some shit, dude. I think he did it because it's the only way to put them on the path that's the one that works for them, you know? And I'm not saying everybody's gonna survive, so to speak, but the way that it is right now, it sure as hell can't work. They took away the heart of the Marvel Universe when they took Spider-Man. That's crazy. We only just got him back. We only just had his homecoming. Coming back from the clutches of fucking Sony. And having them just rip this motherfucker. It's the fucking reversal. You know, you expected the mentor to die. And if the mentor Stark and Spidey's the kid. Oh no. Oh no. But Strange, man. Strange in the beginning of the movie, he said, look, if I have to choose between your ass Stark and this fucking kid, I'm choosing the stone every time. And at the end, he was about to get messed up and he said, don't kill him. Don't kill him. Take the stone, my dude. Take the stone. But next movie, I am dying to see what happens. Do they go back in time? Do they jump into another reality? Do they go grab Miles Morales Spider-Man? Do they go grab fucking the Fantastic Four and the X-Men from another universe? I just want to know what the fuck going on. Because Captain Marvel can't just show up and fix everything. That'd be lame as hell. All I know is I vaguely remember fucking set photography of Captain America in the outfit that he wore in the first Avengers. So it's like, are y'all time traveling back to that? I'll tell you one thing. Before I saw Infinity War, I expected a hell of a lot more time hijinks. A hell of a lot more time hijinks. Because that's the stone that this dude had. So I expected the whole movie to just be like, damn it, we couldn't get it. Let's go back in time. You know what I mean? Damn it, we couldn't get it again. But what if we try this? You know what I mean? And then that didn't happen. In the beginning of the movie, they do this thing where I think his name's Wong, the Asian dude that's with Strange. He like creates a portal and then cuts it off and it slices off the limb of somebody. And that's a setup, okay? I expected... Jesus, you're so right. You're so right. I feel like Hulk was supposed to come out. I feel like Hulk was supposed to come out. No. I feel like Hulk was supposed to bust out of this fucking armor. And it didn't happen. I don't know, man. What if we revisit half of the shit that happened in this movie again? Because what I'm suggesting actually does happen. And they just go back and try to change some shit. casually revealing what she's got under her top. That does not seem like the type of thing I should click on stream. Guys, I love you to death. I like the proportions here. What's going on? What's going on here? Wow. This should be the new standard. All right, I'm just kidding. Love you guys. Fat Man, you're amazing. You know, guys, I just love you nonstop. And you'll see more of me when the opportunity comes up. Oh, I love you to death. And you'll see me soon. Text me if you need me. Leave something in the Discord. Oh yeah, I need to go check my snaps. So you guys will see me soon. Love ya. Later.